I assisted my brother in reneging on his wedding vows with his bride at the altar due to her invitation of our mother. We are 34, 32, and 28, respectively. Exile is 30 and not in the United States. I have 2 older brothers. This account pertains to the middle one. Our parents divorced when I was very young. Initially, our father was able to cope with the situation. However, when our mother began making disparaging remarks about my desire to emulate his, he reached his limit. My father's second wife was quick to remarry, and their relationship was marked by a history of conflict. My stepmother had 2 children from a previous relationship and had been on shared custody for a period of time. However, following my father's remarriage, she became highly critical of my stepmother, claiming infidelity and other forms of abuse. I had a closer relationship with my brothers and father than with my mother due to her consistently negative attitude towards me. To summarize, my stepmother's remarriage led to a deterioration in the family dynamic, marked by conflict and distrust. My mother passed away in a vehicular accident. My father contacted her in the middle of the night to inform her that he would pick us up earlier so that we could attend the funeral. She then decided to take us on a celebratory trip. We had never seen her happier. When we realized what had happened and began to cry, she informed us that only worthless people cry for no reason. As you can imagine, this led to a significant deterioration in our relationship with her. My father subsequently requested full custody. Despite maintaining communication with her, the situation remained contentious. Upon reaching adulthood, we initiated a reduction in contact. Our final encounter occurred at my high school graduation, where she publicly criticized us for our perceived ungratefulness and disrespectful behavior towards her. My brother Sam began dating his former partner 3 years ago. I have been made aware of the various accounts and justifications for our decision to cease communication. However, she maintains that our actions are merely a manifestation of excessive emotion. The couple had encountered numerous challenges due to her opinions. Nevertheless, she appeared to abandon her previous stance of seeking reconciliation with her mother during the wedding planning process. At the church, we observed that our mother, her boyfriend, and their 2 children were seated in the front row. I experienced a sudden sense of unease and immediately contacted my brother, Sam. It is possible that she had somehow discovered this information and wished to attend the ceremony. Consequently, he contacted his former partner to inform her of the potential for conflict. However, she reassured him that everything would be fine since she had invited them. Sam terminated the call and requested that I retrieve him while his eldest brother handled the situation at the church. We subsequently returned home and barricaded ourselves inside, even when his former partner, her family, friends, and others attempted to communicate with him. His mother, HB, even called to declare that he had always been aware of our lack of value. The dust has settled, and the majority of Sam's friends and most of our family members are on his side. Additionally, Sam's father and his ex's parents have already threatened to sue for the money they paid if he does not marry her. However, Sam has stated that he would prefer to repay them for their contribution than to marry someone who has betrayed him. My immediate family, comprising my parents, siblings, and I, support Sam unconditionally. Nevertheless, the backlash has been significant. I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for your support. Some of you have commented on the situation, but she has not apologized. She offered an apology and even sent a text message to my eldest brother, Joe, suggesting that it would be a suitable wedding gift for him to give to her, given her appreciation for family. My father purchased a house as a wedding gift for them, but only Sam is listed as the owner on the deed. She did have keys to the house when they moved in, but they recently had the locks changed today. Joe and some cousins are taking everything from her flat this week. We are not concerned about being sued. Nevertheless, we will seek legal counsel, as we are uncertain as to whether our mother and her family remain in the area. As we will be staying at our childhood home for several days, we are unconcerned about this matter. My father is saddened by Sam's distress, but is attempting to console him, along with my boyfriend and sister. I removed SL and deactivated my SM account due to the receipt of hostile messages and comments. However, as more individuals become aware of the circumstances surrounding Sam Runway, the level of criticism has diminished. I extend my sincerest apologies. She experienced feelings of humiliation, yet my brother's well-being is of paramount importance. I inquired about the church incident with Joe, who corroborated my initial assessment. He stated that he had addressed the congregation and informed them that Sam would not be attending and to please return home. Additionally, he asserted that all gifts delivered to our family will be promptly returned. The former spouse was still outside the church when someone in her family informed her of the developments. She began to express her distress verbally, using profane language and denigrating Sam. Mom attempted to engage Joe in conversation, but he did not acknowledge her presence. When she was unable to elicit a response, she began to weep loudly and express her dismay at the situation. Some individuals approached her to offer comfort. This individual is known as Imam, but Joe and his wife did not express any concern. As they exited the church, the former spouse was awaiting their departure and demanded to see Sam. However, she then demanded to know what to do with at the party. He replied that if she did not want the venue, he would arrange for the food to be donated to the staff there so that it would not go to waste. Everyone was screaming except Joe, who did not want to give his mother the satisfaction of seeing him yield to her demands. Joe and Sil returned home after stopping at the supermarket. Fast food restaurants, and we have been inside as if we were children again. Additionally, 2 more members were present. We inquired of Sam if he wished for them to depart, but he indicated that he desired them to remain. We had all taken time off to spend time with our families after the wedding, so it was not an issue at the time. When the former spouse arrived at the gate, we were aware that she was not going to utilize the venue. Consequently, my contacted them. With Sam's information, we informed them to take the food and also sent them some tips for their trouble. It seems that we will recover all the alcohol that my father paid for, so we will have a very drunk end of the year. A couple of people messaged me asking why our father ever married our mother. The answer is that he truly loved her and believed she was the kindest person ever. It subsequently became apparent that she was not, in fact, as agreeable as had been assumed. It seems that her husband was prepared to remain with her for the duration of our childhood, on the understanding that she would present a more agreeable persona. However, this did not prove to be a sustainable arrangement, as she would frequently revert to her previous behavior. With regard to my former spouse, there is no doubt that she holds the view that our mother is a personification of the epitome of niceness, yet her children exhibit ungrateful behavior. This is attributed to her exceptional charm, which enables her to elicit amusement from others through the ridicule of others, provided it does not extend to her. However, this does not exonerate X. The sole individual who provided an explanation was Sam's superior, who was present at the church. He is highly understanding and expressed profound shock at the mistreatment inflicted upon us by our mother. We are a family that has generally been able to cope with the situation in a relatively positive manner. Our father indicated that we were all taken aback by the turn of events and that we could remain at our current residence for as long as necessary. Sam has temporarily returned to our family home. I have informed my family about your comments, and they have expressed their gratitude for your support. However, Sam has stated that X did not exhibit any concerning behaviors and that he believed she was aware of his upbringing. He has agreed with this assessment. To engage in conversation with her and her parents today, but only if it occurs at our residence and we are present to provide support. It will be an intriguing visit. I will provide an update on my runaway brother. First, I will provide additional information. Sam lost some money, but it will not have a significant impact on her. Her parents paid for her dress, a very fancy cake, and part of the honeymoon. The ex-partner was not the most beloved individual. It is evident that there was a lack of affection between Sam and the subject. There has been no communication with the maternal side of the family. Joe had maintained contact with his grandmother, but following his marriage, he ceased all communication. He also terminated contact with the subject's mother, who had expressed a desire to be the wife. This was likely due to the belief that it was inappropriate for them to engage in activities typically associated with father-daughter relationships. It is noteworthy that there were instances when the subject's father was referred to as Daddy Joe or Daddy Sam. She consistently attempted to spend time with us individually and in groups. However, she was unable to maintain a healthy relationship with our mother. We do not discuss our childhood, so when people inquire about our parents, we typically respond with only one parent's name. Most individuals assume that our mother is deceased, which allows us to circumvent the entire topic of communication with her. Our mother's stepchildren are both male and in their early 30s. Our father has been in a long-term relationship with a woman. We have been in contact with her for some time now and have formed a positive relationship with her. She has been pursuing her own interests recently, but has reassured us that she is now fully supportive. I was curious as to why Sam agreed to the meeting, given that he had not spoken to her. However, it transpired that she had sent videos and photos of his belongings on the floor to his best friend, Tom. She informed him that she had either spoken to Sam or would burn or destroy everything if necessary. Tom subsequently visited Sam and informed her of the situation. They then informed her that they required access to the flat before anything happened. Tom, Joe, and a couple of cousins were also involved. Furthermore, my boyfriend took his clothes, electronics, and important paperwork. Sam stated that he did not care about the rest and even made a joke about them being the fastest moving crew he knew. The meeting was, in essence, a ridiculous event. She came with her parents and sisters, attempting to speak with Sam alone. However, when he did not allow it, she began talking. She did not apologize once. She stated that it was not her fault and that we do not understand the value of a real family. Additionally, she claimed that we were raised to hate mothers who only intend for Sam to learn to value mothers because she was fearful that he would remove her children from her custody, as that was the training he had received. Sam did not respond until she referred to this family as a cult and to him as a poor father. This is a sensitive topic for all of us, and we do not tolerate insults directed at our father. Sam proceeded to share his negative experiences with her, expressing his disgust at her deceitfulness. He was grateful that I arrived promptly to every event. He informed her that he was chronically early to everything. Remaining with a husband who has been unfaithful is not a matter for pride. He stated that she had feigned kindness in order to persuade him to marry her. He revealed that he had forgiven her for minor offenses, as he had loved her, or at least believed he did. He said that he would never forgive her for the hurt she caused his siblings, yet he does not hate her because that would require him to expend energy thinking about her. At the end, he said she had sufficient time to rectify the situation. Since she has acted like a victim, he will be the one to inform everyone of the reasons why he did not show it. It was brutal, but the conversation was cathartic and necessary for Sam. Her parents remained silent but displayed noticeable redness in their cheeks. Sam's sisters attempted to defend their parents' relationship and anticipated that their family would engage in heated debate. However, this did not occur. Sam informed his former spouse, Phil, that he could pursue legal action if he wished. In response, Sam asserted that if Phil did so, he would expose the circumstances surrounding their relationship. His family's dirty laundry was revealed to the world, and he expressed doubt about wanting that. Interestingly, the father still argued that Sam could try to make amends and marry his ex-wife because they were not getting any younger. He also suggested that all families fight. I have never rolled my eyes harder. The rest of the meeting was dedicated to logistics for the return of the wedding. The gift had already been received, and the harassment from their family had ceased. The cancellation and refund of the honeymoon had been arranged, and the locks had been changed. X continued to cry and attempt to communicate with Sam, but he was focused on business matters and did not respond to her overtures. He only replied directly to her when she stated that she intended to retain the item in question. The engagement ring was a gift that was not requested. The family left without incident when the alcohol was delivered. The mother and husband entered the premises surreptitiously when the gate was opened. The daughter stated that she wished to speak with her romantic partner. The paternal grandparents and the daughter requested that she leave. She continued to scream and accused them of raising her incorrectly, stating that they had embarrassed her with their behavior. She was incredulous that we were such unworthy individuals and demanded that we atone for our perceived lack of maternal affection. This assessment was accurate, and the situation had reached a deplorable point. Joe then proceeded to instruct her to leave, as the police were en route. She seized this opportunity to weep, perceiving it as a chance to further her agenda. This was the first time in approximately a decade that he had engaged in conversation with her and attempted to persuade her to accompany him to dinner. However, Joe simply instructed her to leave. The only information he desired regarding her was that which pertained to her funeral, at which he could celebrate. As a result, Q was hysterically crying and screaming from the husband demanded an apology and threatened to assault Joe. Joe's father then proceeded to enter the residence and leave the couple alone until they departed and secured the gate. It is challenging for some individuals to comprehend the rationale behind our reactions. However, the incidents involving our mother represent merely the surface-level manifestations of a much deeper issue. Our father's actions and attitudes were not entirely. While I am proud of what Joe said, I believe he realized that he needed to express his feelings. He was speaking on behalf of all of us. Some might consider this behavior unacceptable, but I believe it is important to acknowledge our feelings. We do not want to see this woman again. In addition to our individual therapy sessions, we are also going to have family therapy. Sam no longer wants to live in the house, but my father advised him to take the process will be gradual, with the initial objective being to repair the emotional damage. To this end, we have engaged in a variety of activities, including horror movie marathons and select Disney classics. Additionally, we have initiated a drama bingo exercise, mapping out the potential scenarios that could unfold. This reflects our inclination towards dramatic expression, shaped by our upbringing. Despite these challenges, we value our bond and adhere to the principles instilled in us. We prioritize treating others with respect and compassion. While we are capable of treating others with kindness, we can also be quite petty when pushed. I also feel better knowing that she has been humiliated. While I would not wish to be left at the church to anybody, I would do it again because I love my brother more than I feel bad for her. We will eventually embark on a family trip, but for now, we will continue our current activities. To the individual who asserted that Joe is a hero, his siblings would be hard-pressed to identify a more exemplary brother and friend. I have perused the entirety of the available literature and extend my gratitude for the opportunity to express my thoughts. The accolades and the PMS are, of course, fictitious. My apologies if my English was not up to the standards one would expect. The names Joe and Sam are, of course, fictitious. However, Daniela, you are free to proceed. My brothers, the messages and comments you have been reading are evidence that we are aware of how fortunate we are. We appreciate the positivity and want you to know that things will improve for those in similar situations. You are all welcome to join our group. We have 2 more clarifications to share. If you would like to send us a private message, we will accept it, even if it is insulting. We want you to know that I will respond only in a public forum. I have not identified Joe to the individual who wrote me a disparaging essay about it. Here is my response: my brother spent time with me because we wanted to. We had special days together or with each other. They engaged in all the activities they desired. They had numerous friends and went on trips with me or alone. Furthermore, there were nannies, family, and my father. They were never compelled to take me with them against their will. They enjoyed a considerable degree of autonomy, within reason. My parents divorced when I was 3. Despite the existence of shared custody, we resided with my father for approximately 90% of the time. We never visited our mother unless we were accompanied by at least one other individual. Subsequently, upon reaching the age of 18, Joe and Sam were permitted to visit their mother only when I was also present, as they were reluctant to allow me to travel alone. Our family has been engaged in psychotherapy for an extended period, undergoing specialized sessions due to our ongoing interactions with our mother. It is noteworthy that Joe was the sole member of our family who had direct contact with her. Additionally, it is essential to recognize that Sam, along with myself, was also involved in these interactions. I am aware of how to defend ourselves, and I did not request that Joe confront her, he did so independently. I am uncertain as to why my father did not accompany Joe to the church, as Sam had requested that he return home. We did not believe it was necessary for him to interact with the woman, even if he was required to speak with her. After Sam had cried, we did not perceive him to be a monster, but rather a person experiencing profound emotional distress. He believed he would spend the rest of his life with Daniela. He considered himself a perceptive individual, adept at discerning character traits. He assumed he would never have to interact with our mother again. Our upbringing instilled in us a capacity to regulate our emotions in the presence of individuals we did not trust or like. This was a survival mechanism. The ability to cope with mistreatment is a learned behavior. Joe had a relationship with Grandma, but ceased communication with her after she extended an invitation to our mother as her +1. There was no religious ceremony, the venue had security, and there was a no-entry list. He sent Grandma a letter and did not speak with her again. We also did not attend. The funeral and wedding lists and seating charts used other names, which is how we were unaware of the event. Daniela is not Brazilian. My father requested that I inform you all that his children are not alcoholics. He is concerned that people may think otherwise, even if the situation is still unfolding, and it is difficult to ascertain the facts. However, it is evident that the individual in question has been employing a strategy of pregnancy preparation. This strategy has been met with a high level of accuracy, as evidenced by the fact that the individual in question posted the strategy online, prompting a strong reaction from the public. Individuals have been contacting Sam, inquiring about the veracity of the strategy. In response, Sam has requested that the strategy be deleted. The individual in question has continued to claim that she is pregnant. He requested that she remove the post and arrange a meeting to discuss it. She complied and subsequently arranged to meet with Sam. During this meeting, the woman in question believed that Sam was attempting to rekindle their relationship. I accompanied Sam to the meeting, during which the woman displayed visible distress, including crying and holding her stomach. When Sam inquired about her pregnancy status, she responded affirmatively. She informed him that she did not wish her child to be from a broken family. Sam advised her that they would immediately visit a physician to ascertain the truth. She became even more distressed, shouting that he did not trust her. In summary, she was not pregnant, but she posted that Sam was forcing her to have an abortion, which caused her great distress. One might posit that this was a regrettable assertion. Individuals contacted Sam, as they were so emotionally distressed by the unfolding events that they were uncertain about how to process the information. When Anna discovered the posts on the message board, she contacted Daniela. The content of their conversation is unclear, but Anna had never observed Anna in such a state of distress. The posts have since been removed, but Anna sent an email to all those on the wedding list, including the information that Daniela was never pregnant. We have been informed that Daniela experienced a psychological crisis after leaving voicemails for Sam, expressing her desire to die if she could not be with him. This is another example of the emotional turmoil that has ensued. This is a strategy that has been previously employed by members of the family in question. Sam contacted the police and informed them of the circumstances. Her family has compelled her to undergo therapy, and she is currently under observation. It is unfortunate that this situation has reached this point, but we have decided to disengage from further involvement. We are also in the process of changing our contact information. Furthermore, our mother sent Anna a threatening email, alleging defamation regarding the email blast. However, we are not concerned about this issue. Anna's parents are supportive and have made it clear that they are on our side and agree with the way she handled the situation. Joe was initially enraged, but Anna was able to persuade him to reconsider. It would be prudent to let this matter rest and move on. The mother's husband has been a valuable source of support and assistance, as is often the case. The father is contemplating seeking a restraining order, but the legal system in this country is not as robust as it could be. Yesterday, we held a gathering at our residence, which proved to be a highly enjoyable occasion. There was a karaoke session, dancing, delicious food and beverages, games, and a bouncy house, which seemed an appropriate addition. The majority of individuals circumvented the subject of the nuptials and the associated communications. However, those who initiated the discussion did so in a tactful manner. The father had already distributed a considerable quantity of alcohol to his employees. They were permitted to select their preferred beverages and received a bottle each. Additionally, he is including bottles of alcohol in his Christmas baskets this year. We are planning to attend. To spend the holidays together and travel, I informed Sam about the new paint for the house. However, he expressed a lack of interest in residing there, indicating that he would instead rent it. I made a light-hearted remark about eloping or foregoing a traditional wedding to circumvent potential complications. Joe, in a clear and assertive manner, stated that I could have the most elaborate celebration if I so desired. Indeed, he remains the optimal choice. I am grateful for your kind remarks and messages. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge those who expressed less favorable sentiments. I extend my apologies to the esteemed Daniel. I assure you, your input was not solicited. I am grateful for your interest and kind words. You are a delightful individual, and it is always a pleasure to interact with you. I am grateful for your support and engagement on various platforms, including YouTube. You have become an integral part of our community. I do read every comment and message. Some have commented that I lacked a feminine figure in my life. However, I had the privilege of having my grandmother, aunts, and other female relatives in my life. My father's girlfriend, Rita, does not serve as a maternal figure in my life. I do not consider myself a flawed individual as a result. When I began menstruating, I informed my father, who had prepared a comprehensive response. He then disclosed this information to my brothers, who had also devised their own approaches. Each brother had a distinct strategy, and the others were unaware of their plans. In summary, I had 3 men managing the situation and even presenting on the topic. This might appear awkward for me, but it was even more so for them. This story is humorous and reminds me of their level of consideration for me. Despite her admirable qualities, Rita does not wish to be married to my father. My father has indicated that he does not intend to remarry, and if he were to do so, we would offer our support. Daniela is an acceptable individual. However, her sisters have attempted to create a significant commotion and accuse us of being unkind. However, following the email sent by Anna, few people are buying into this narrative. One of them was also physically assaulted by her boyfriend because he did not want to be associated with a toxic family. I will not disclose the location of our residence or the nature of my father's occupation. Therefore, please do not inquire about this again. We have new contact information. We have established new social media handles and are planning to relocate Joe. Additionally, I have created a note with a fictitious name and relation to avoid any potential issues with my posts. This is mainly to ensure that I do not inadvertently share any sensitive information. My father has informed you that your applications to the organization have been accepted. I have reviewed the last update and am surprised to see that it was only in early November. I have positive updates regarding Sam. He is taking time off work and his boss is understanding about his need for time away. He has the option to return to the organization if he chooses to do so. He is still residing with his father and has not yet established an independent income stream. He has recently taken up running and has set himself the goal of completing a marathon next year. He is becoming increasingly carefree and is undertaking home renovations. These include painting rooms and creating murals, which he finds enjoyable. Daniela wrote him a letter, but he returned it. The house has been placed on the rental market, and he is accepting of this decision. I am engaged to be married. This has been in the making for several months. When I made a joke about Matt's plan to elope with Daniela was discovered by Matt, who had spoken with Sam about it. Sam had already been aware of the plan, as Matt did not want to make him uncomfortable. However, Sam said that it would actually make him uncomfortable if he did not know about it. Matt also spoke with Joe and my father. My father made Matt sweat when he asked for my hand, saying that it was not his to give. However, they say it was all in good fun. The elopement occurred earlier this month. I am very excited about the upcoming wedding, but not as much as my father. He says he wants to walk me down the aisle, even if it is a civil wedding, while my news are I am pleased to share that another significant development has occurred. Joe and Anna have been on the adoption list for some time, and as of a couple of weeks ago, their child has been legally adopted. She is a beautiful, sweet, and exemplary infant. The adoption process was completed in accordance with the standard procedures in our country for newborn or near-newborn children. We had been aware of their desire to adopt for some time, so when they informed us that the child was officially theirs, we experienced a range of emotions, including joy and sadness. However, the overwhelming sentiment was one of happiness. My father, in his role as a grandfather, has been a source of support and guidance throughout this journey, despite the challenges we have faced this year. This development is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of love. The most significant event to occur within our family is that years ago, our mother became aware of the infant and demanded an introduction. She has been served our version of an order of protection. Our mother has never laid eyes on the infant, and we are attempting to avoid this at all costs. These are the unfortunate developments. Due to the new legislation, we have decided to remain at home. With the new legislation in place, we would not travel. We held a Christmas slow welcome baby slumber party / engagement small gathering last weekend, which Joe and his niece did not attend since she is too young. However, they were present via Zoom. We all agreed to give Sam some goofy gifts, such as t-shirts. The rationale behind the potential relocation is the desire to reside in a more spacious and comfortable accommodation. Currently, the family resides in a flat, which has become somewhat cramped. The decision to move is not taken lightly, as there is a recognition of the need to address ongoing challenges. However, there is a determination to focus on the positives, despite the prevailing negativity. The family is grateful for its support system and believes that the future holds promise. While the content may be of a less sensational nature, we endeavor to maintain a balance between the two. It is our intention to retain this account as a repository for noteworthy developments. We extend our best wishes to you all for a fruitful conclusion to the year and a prosperous 2022. 2022 catch-up. It seems appropriate to bring this account back into circulation to provide an update on developments within the cult. We recognize that there may be some interest in this matter. To address a few points that have been raised, it is important to note that our native language is Spanish. In our country, adoptions are considered final and rare exceptions to this rule are made by the government. The open adoption process is not a common occurrence. Joe and Anna have been awaiting a resolution for some time. They elected to proceed with the formation of a family unit. I posited that James was a reference to the Pope. We are currently 35, 33, and 29 years of age. HB was initially interpreted to mean husband, but I find the alternative, huge bastard, to be equally applicable. It is a designation that can be applied in both directions. Joe, I relocated as planned last year. The year has been relatively favorable, with only minor challenges surrounding Danielle. However, she has the option to pursue the matter independently. Let us begin with the less favorable developments. Daniela returned with a claim of pregnancy. This was an unexpected turn of events. She asserts that Sam is the father. Unfortunately for her, this assertion is not substantiated by the facts. It is unlikely that he is the father since he was not in the country when the conception occurred. However, she was unaware of this. Sam has offered to undergo a paternity test on numerous occasions, but she has declined. Sam is legally protected, but he is concerned for the well-being of the child. Daniela's father sued Sam for emotional distress caused by two of his daughters, Daniela and the other who was abandoned by her boyfriend. However, no action was taken since it was resolved. It is noteworthy that Joe is a lawyer, and this information is relevant to this discussion. Sam has chosen not to take any action against him since he has significant responsibilities and feels sympathy for the situation. Despite the mother's insistence on meeting the infant, this will never occur. She employed one of her favored tactics, disclosing her cancer diagnosis. She contacted Joe and Anna via their work emails, requesting assistance in meeting the infant due to her poor health and potential need for a transplant. This is the fifth instance of her claiming to have cancer, though in reality, she has had cancer a total of 0 times. She thrives on the attention, suffering, and drama that troubled individuals often elicit from others. We initially did not believe her claims, but the unexpected occurred. It was unexpected that she would make a fool of herself when she contacted Anna's mother on Facebook. Anna's mother is a kind, devout Catholic woman, so the mother assumed she would be easily manipulated. She informed her about her cancer and expressed her distress at not meeting baby Anna. The mother then proceeded to ask a few questions about the diagnosis and treatment, which were illogical. She then blocked her and posted screenshots of her wall. This behavior is akin to high school drama, but with older individuals and lacks the same comedic value. The baby is otherwise happy and healthy, and the only controversy is her mother's actions. The question of what to call Rita arose. This was not simply a matter of Rita's preference, but also a question of how our mother would refer to Rita. Our mother asserted that Rita had no right to be called Grandma Joe. Anna had discussed the matter with Rita, and they had agreed that, for all intents and purposes, Rita was to be referred to as Grandma Rita. Our mother was unable to alter this decision. Sam was doing well. He terminated his employment and initiated an entrepreneurial venture. He continues to reside in the family domicile, leasing the adjacent residence, and is involved in a romantic relationship. She is affable, is aware of the circumstances, is a skilled baker, and is adept at knitting. We hold her in high regard and exercise a combination of optimism and caution. They are proceeding at a gradual pace. It is encouraging to observe him in a relationship with someone of this nature. He also continued to paint rooms with his father, and the results are impressive. It is worth noting that I hold these two individuals in high regard. They are delightfully entertaining, absurd, and reminiscent of activities typically undertaken in kindergarten. My father was diagnosed with cancer for the first time, and the diagnosis caused him significant distress, prompting him to update his will. The significance of Joe's profession is that the couple wanted Sam and I to be aware of it upon its completion. His assets were divided into 4 categories: his children and grandchildren. However, the family residence was not included in the distribution and is scheduled to be transferred to my name shortly. I was somewhat perplexed by this arrangement. However, Joe and my father discussed it and wanted me to have it, provided that Sam agreed. He did agree and is very happy about it. They did not really offer many explanations other than that it was the right thing to do. I sense that there might be more to it because I am the youngest, but I am okay with it. Joe purchased a house in the same neighborhood as our family home. Thus, even if they are not in the same block or anything close by, we, Matt and I, are not buying anything anymore since I will be getting the house. It would make no sense for us to do so. We moved to the family home, and it has been interesting, but nice. My father has started to. Upon retirement, I will be spending more days at Rita's, which is convenient for everyone. Sam will be able to stay there as long as he wishes, but his murals will have to be removed. We are still engaged, happy, and enjoying babysitting. However, we are not pregnant. During the spring, we adopted a cat. We are planning a December wedding, which seems like an ideal end to the year. Overall, there have been no significant issues. We are moving. We are moving forward and healing continuously, which is the way we prefer to live. In case you are curious about why I decided to post now, one of us is a devoted follower of Reddit updates. We were reminded about the posts anyway. Wishing you all a good last few months of 2022 and 2023. We will catch up with you on Reddit first, as it is our custom. We now have 2 cats. Sam moved in with his girlfriend, and we are delighted that he is happy again. My father is. The relocation to Rita's residence has been a mixed blessing. However, we maintain a positive and supportive relationship. Let us address the unfortunate news first. It has come to our attention that our mother's family has been affected by cancer. One of her stepchildren was diagnosed with the disease and passed away at the beginning of the year. She is exploiting the situation to its fullest extent, and we are disillusioned by her actions. While we can sympathize with the LW, we maintain our stance on maintaining distance from her and her entire family. Daniela gave birth to a very adorable boy, who is not Sam's. This is not to suggest that she did not attempt to do so. She attempted to persuade him to recognize his son and sign the necessary paperwork, but he refused. After the paternity test, she was unable to take further action. She lost custody of her son when she learned that Sam was in a serious relationship. Her belief that he was the ideal partner persisted, and she resorted to cyberbullying his girlfriend. However, this woman proved to be resilient. Additionally, the father of her child is a married co-worker in his 50s, which is a surprising revelation. Sam moved in with his girlfriend, and he continues to undergo therapy. We are all in therapy as well, but we have made significant progress. His girlfriend is a highly regarded and adored member of the family, demonstrating comprehensive understanding of the circumstances and seamless integration. Additionally, he has made commendable progress in other domains, including the completion of his inaugural marathon, which, though not optimal timing, represents a noteworthy achievement. Joe and his partner are delighted, and they remain interested in adoption, with the intention of welcoming at least one more child. Furthermore, it is essential to clarify that adoptions in my country are not conducted through adoption agencies. Maintain lists of prospective adoptive parents who have undergone a series of tests and interviews to ascertain their suitability. When a suitable match is identified, the adoptive parents are granted custody of the child. It is important to note that the process may vary significantly between countries. In this case, the child in question is of exemplary quality. While I acknowledge that my description may lack clarity, it is essential to understand that our perspective is shaped by our unique cultural context. I may be partial in my assessment, but I believe that Aloe is an exceptional child. She is frequently told no, but this is because we collectively believe that she should not be indulged. Orwell is also somewhat spoiled. She has a room at our house and a playing pen at Sam's because they are searching for a permanent residence. My father is currently residing with Rita. She seems content with this arrangement, and they have recently taken a few trips. They greatly enjoy being grandparents and are highly involved in their grandchildren's lives. They now have 3 grandchildren, and the cats sometimes visit them as well. It is amusing because my father was initially reluctant to have cats in the house. Initially, he took photographs of the cats, selecting the most impressive images. He now also photographs his grandchildren and shares updates with friends, who sometimes express confusion about whether he is talking about the cats or the babies. He is enthusiastic about the activities of both, and he purchases a considerable number of toys for them. In December, we held a wedding ceremony. My father walked me down the aisle, although the event was not traditional. In accordance with traditional customs, Matt served as the best man for my country Joe. Sam, my best maid, was also present. Julio, as he preferred to be called, was adamant about being addressed by this name throughout the planning process. My mother attempted to intervene and persuade Anna's mother to reconsider, but she refused to divulge any information. Some of my mother's relatives expressed concern that having Rita in attendance instead of my biological mother was undignified. I am uncertain if this is an appropriate description. I consider it reprehensible to endorse her actions. Ultimately, each individual is entitled to their own perspective. Our experience was marked by joy and a notable absence of stress. There were no instances of distress or attempts to create a commotion. We are in the process of renovating a portion of the house to create a more functional and aesthetically pleasing space, rather than relocating from my childhood bedroom. Thus far, the project is progressing smoothly. Regarding the gifts, Sam received fewer items reminiscent of Julia Roberts' style, but he wears his t-shirts with pride throughout the year. Sam's girlfriend has proposed that she and Sam marry when the time is right. It is possible that Sam will finally tie the knot.